But that's one of the things I thought was so valuable, is realizing, one, we're addicted to the toxic foods and the food that doesn't serve us. And the other thing is that we have to move through the process, it seems like, to get over to the other side. Now, I was there and then I fell back. My parents and health and family and even some of the green drinks. You know, when I'm taught was toxic, it tasted like real pond scum. You know, and then when I started getting healthier, it actually tasted good.
Well, it literally changes the creatures that are growing on your tongue. So
the senses, everything.
It absolutely tastes different because the things that are growing there are triggering different taste buds. So that is absolutely vital. And it's a process, you know, nobody changes immediately overnight, and there's 2 steps forward and 1 step back. We know that that's typical. Getting your stress under control, or at least managing stress. We tend to think of stress as a mental, emotional thing, but stress is a very physical thing.
Sure.
And so a lot of it has to do with our adrenal glands, which produce cortisol, which is similar to those steroids that you were talking about being overdosed on. And those steroids are all about making us bulk up.
Yeah.
Because when we have that fight or flight reaction, your body says, well, I need to be bigger in order to fight whatever is out there. And so the steroids make things hang on to us. So this is the typical person who gains weight around the middle. That is almost always associated with stress. And so that's what that hormone does, the cortisol. It makes us gain weight, particularly around the middle. And a lot of people tend to think of insulin as the hormone that manages blood sugar. And that is true, that insulin has a lot to do with blood sugar. But insulin is about the sugar going into the cell. The maintenance of blood sugar is actually cortisol. And so this is where the management of our stress, so that it isn't triggering excessive cortisol release from our adrenal glands, that is really, really key to being able to manage this. And I do want to step back a moment and really make the point, because a lot of people get very confused when they hear the term blood sugar, and they think that has to do with sweet things. It does have to do with sweet things, but that's not actually the main source for most people. So there are many things that turn into sugar in the body, and that would be anything that's starchy. So anything made out of wheat, corn, or rice, anything made out of potatoes or other kinds of root vegetables, those aren't necessarily sweet, but they are turned into blood sugar, which is also known as blood glucose more technically. So I try to use that term with people when we're talking about blood glucose, because our language tends to right away say, well, I don't eat sweet things. I don't have a sweet tooth, but I eat plenty of pasta and pizza and French fries and baked potatoes, and all of those things are every bit equivalent to sugar in terms of what they turn into in the body.
Very important.